Hey, what's up everybody? This is Untitled Chapter back with a brand new video. Today is June 30th of 2018, which means today's finance talk. Welcome this morning. If you're on the West Coast, it's 10 o'clock your time. On the East Coast, you're looking at 1 o'clock p.m. right after lunch hour, or perhaps you're enjoying lunch and watching this video. So today I'd like to discuss this concept and the subject of increasing your net worth while building your network. A lot of people in the financial services industry talk about this a lot, and unfortunately, they give the great talk, but unfortunately cannot give you implementation strategies, resources, or tools to actually help you successfully achieve a higher net worth by simply understanding how your network works. And of course, the subtitle today is to build more financial confidence. I'm going to go detailed into this topic and subject because we want you guys to kind of understand our view and perspective as Best Credit Resources, myself, and the community that we're trying to build together. And I want to help you guys achieve more, but in order to do that, you have to have a basic and foundational understanding of how it can be achieved in the first place. So let's go over some of that concepts here on this presentation. First things first, this presentation is intended to help you get a more clear picture financially of yourself, where you are at present, what your past could comprise of, and of course, what did look better in the future. We'll also reveal what financially confident people do to make money, build wealth, and of course, increase their net worth. Why credit is only a vehicle. Okay, it's only a vehicle, and financial management. It's only a vehicle, and financial management and education is actually the fuel to help that vehicle move forward in life. Also, we're going to talk about the 70-20-10 formula for success for financial management and success. Essentially, what that is a resource and a formula that if you look at it and if you dissect it, it'll help you concentrate on the areas that will give you the most results and scale your life potential, whether it be financially, independently, physically, spiritually, whatever it is. So I want to give you guys a clear breakdown of that. So everybody has to look at the journey beyond credit, why it's essential. So we talked about aiming for alpha. What is alpha? It's basically getting the optimum results to grow from there. Alpha is like the highest peak of any possibility based on a certain service or product. And here's another problem. 99% of clients who are attempting to fix their credit, right, are on the path of a full circle. And what that means is they end up at the same place that they started with, right? And here's the reason why. It's because if the circumstances have not changed before, what exactly is different now? And how will it be different in the future? It's almost like, okay, well, I'm going to bury my mistakes and I'm going to continue doing the same thing. I'm not going to change the habits of prosperity, wealth. The mindset has not shifted. You're basically trying to patch a little scar by putting a Band-Aid on it. And we talked about this a while back. And essentially, you're not really moving ahead because you have those problems still buried, right? And you're just cleaning up your credit. That's fine. And even though they're valid and accurate accounts, and you're basically going after other banks, this is why they call America the greatest country in the world, because they have a lot of opportunities, particularly financially. But essentially, if the habits and prosperity mindsets don't change, you end up in a full circle, ultimately leading you down a trail where it's going to be disastrous. So another problem, fixed income. It's never safe. A lot of people think it is, but here's the problem. Expenses are going up daily. Retirement funds are being depleted. There's actually a huge hearing that's going to happen with the Federal Reserve and a series of other institutions getting together, particularly with the government of the United States. And of course, there's no guarantee of job security. A lot of people are still looking for jobs. They're in between. They've been working at the same place. They're upset and they're really not motivated because they don't see any life circumstances change. They're not moving ahead. Expenses are going up, like we said, and it's just becoming a problem day to day. In fact, more than ever, people depend on credit, unfortunately, because of those circumstances, because of the issues that I just described. And due to the lack of education, direction, and goals, they actually misuse their credit and end up in dire financial conditions. That's a very dangerous place to be. Ultimately, what's happening now is because of those issues, because of their inability to understand, because they don't have the education, the guidance, or mentoring, they're handicapping their probability of building substantial wealth because of the fact that they're digesting a lot of debt, and they have to pay the interest on that, and it's handicapping their cash flow, right? Like they bring in money, the paycheck, and then a majority of that has to go towards the bill. And unfortunately, some of them, because of circumstances, cannot simply come up and cope with the bills, and they have to fix their credit now because they have to extend the probability of getting more credit and just bury the bodies, as they go along, and that's a problem. Okay, so the biggest thing you have to understand in this is that you have to lead with education. It's not about looking at gimmicks or tricks. That doesn't help. If people always think about what's the quickest way of fixing this or what's the shortcut of doing that, you end up in a very dire situation. It's going to cause you more problems than good. So too many individuals talk about how scores increase and how they can get funding. They're leading their entire YouTube channels on that. And basically, very few people talk about what to do with the money that you get, how scores increase, and whether or not they will remain positive, along with how to maintain consistency for positive outcomes. Very few channels, if at all, talk about that. And that's a huge factor, because if we don't talk about this, if we're calling ourselves financial experts and credit experts, it's important that, we mention these things, because end result is I can have a customer come back to me every year because they have good credit. All of a sudden, they just go back to the same circumstances they were in, of course, due to the lack of education and mentoring, and continue making money on that same person because I've already built that trust. But the problem is I'm not building that relationship to further prosperity and wealth together, right? I want that customer to fix his credit, come to me, down the road a year from now, who's getting into real estate. I help them get access to multifamily financing. I help them get access to syndication. We get together with investors. We do more deals, and the deal sizes get bigger. He makes more money. We collaborate, work together, and we make more money as a joint venture partner. And ultimately, that person decides to do a business. He wants to grow it, and we discuss different strategies to help them accelerate. Not only am I helping him get ahead financially, I'm building a personal relationship with that person as a customer, but I'm also helping them change their life for the better, helping them achieve more financial confidence, and ultimately prospering together as a unit. I don't want that person to come back because they want to just bury more credit bodies, and just because they feel like there's something they can do to take advantage of that, even though I have that trust with them. I don't want my customers to stay where they are. I want them to excel and move ahead. That is the reason for this channel. Also, it's easy to show off some few results, right? Because you just type up a few templates and achieve great outcomes. That's all fine and dandy. But what's even more difficult is to tell you what to do to maintain that positive credit history, and how to build more financial confidence long term, not short term, long term. This is a game of long term. So let's talk about the network thing we were discussing at the very beginning as a title, right? What is a network? So basically, it's based your net worth, right? It's basically when basically ultra wealthy, high net worth, and sophisticated individuals said that you are a product of your environment, they weren't wrong. Okay. The one major and most notable difference between the elite wealthy is the fact that, and is only the fact of their association, right? It's because they associate, interact, surround themselves with people who are better, more intelligent, and more driven and more successful than they are. And while most poor mindset and middle-class individuals who think that they are somewhat privileged tend to stay far away from people who are more intelligent, more accomplished, or better than them in some capacity. And this includes skill sets, education, and experiences. And this is a big reason. The reason why, it's because they have high levels of insecurity about themselves. You see what I'm saying? So, but the ultra wealthy are not afraid of that, because they know if they surround themselves with the higher and more successful individuals who have done what they want to do and they aspire to do, they know that they can get ahead. They know that they can work with those individuals to succeed. And that's one of the biggest differences. So let's review a few things together. And this is a little shortcut, one thing that I do. But let's look at your phone and see who are the last 5 people on your calls, texts, or even emails, right? And based on that concept, when we talk about environmental success factors, you would want those 5 individuals to be at least better than you in some capacity, provide you with some guidance, have success in the areas that you're aspiring to succeed in, and of course, improve themselves on a day-to-day basis, right? However, if those 5 people on your phone, email, or text are nowhere near that, then you have to reposition yourself so that you have that constant communication to what we say is for more environmental success factors working for you, right? That's what you want to do. So what are some of the environmental success factors, right? So most people who are average, they spend years and years to refine, retool, reposition, and rehabilitate their skills so that they become something, automatically associating them with a professional environment. Some of these professionals include certifications like doctors, engineers, lawyers, accountants, et cetera, right? And whilst others, what they do is they use surefire shortcuts. And what they are is essentially specialized education that provides them insight, strategies, tips, and guidance on positioning yourself to create, surround, and be part of an environment with individuals who will help you achieve success faster, quicker, and more reliably than the old school way of doing things, right? So that's the huge difference that you want to get understanding on, particularly when it comes to key environmental success factors. So you got to ask yourself some of these questions. Let me help you understand this better. So between the following 2 scenarios, who would you hire? Somebody with a bachelor's degree in business from Ivy League, like Stanford, Harvard, or whatnot, or someone who works with centimillionaire and billionaire families and strategies, business insights, and investment platforms? What would give you a better outcome, right? Also, consider the following. Who would you trust in the following? Someone who just graduated from university and is considering joining your startup for business development, or someone who's helped businesses get access to hundreds of millions of dollars and has over 10 years of experience in successfully systemizing and strategizing business success? right? These are the same questions you got to ask yourself when it comes to the credit space, right? The credit space is no different than any other business. If you're thinking of hiring someone or their company because they have these super secret templates that can make your valid and factual negative accounts disappear, or following advice you feel that is a shortcut is worth it for now, but you'll worry about the problems later, like I said, putting bandage over that scar. But what if there is no later, right? What if the life incident happens in the next few hours, days, or months and you're not prepared? What would happen then? Because we know that can happen, right? There's one guarantee in life, and it's anything and everything can happen. What there is no guarantee of is that you will have, a prosperous life and everything will be fine. There was no guarantee of that. So if you're living life and you're coordinating your financial environment, yourself, and your circumstances around the uncertainty, then for sure you're going to get unpredictable outcomes, right? So remember, environmental success factors is the key to all this. So let's talk about a diamond. Now, I was mentored a long time ago by an instructor who said, you know what, sand is sand. It gets blown away right and left. It is a commodity on the ground and has no special look, feel, or distinction. Whereas a diamond, on the other hand, is forged under constant pressure, years of refining in nature's craftsmanship, and has the feel, look, and distinction of a rare stone. So what are you forging to be? Let me ask you this: a shortcut sand or diamond status? That's all you got to remember. This is the same with your financial circumstances, your life, whatever you're trying to do in business. It always takes time. It's always about the long haul. That's what you got to aim for. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little breakdown of what the credit market's going to look like in 2018 and possibly going into 2019. So here's the thing. A lot of companies out there are opening up these credit booster programs, packages, right? They're talking about primary trade lines for the sake of just giving you some revolving account, like whether it be 10,000, 20, whatever, right? Without no real use. What I mean by real use is basically you can't log into a platform, use their credit. Let's say you can borrow, let's say $15,000 or $1,000, and you still have that limit that you can come back to. They don't have that. They just do it because they want to boost your score and they want to deceive the credit bureaus into thinking that there's a legitimate account, and of course the underwriters of other creditors and underwriting decisions for lenders to trick them into believing that there's a legitimate credit account, right? So what's happening with that is they're going to be shut down. These companies are actually being hunted down right now as we speak. There's investigators, there's a task force specially designed and designated by the credit reporting agencies, including Innovis's department, to look for those companies and basically bring them to court. What's going to happen is the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission, the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and the Banking Commission in their state will be shutting these people down. And the reason why, it's because this is a deceitful practice, right? There's a lot of different laws that are being violated by providing something of deceit. It's no different than a CPN, right? It's creating a credit package that's engineering your file to look like what it is not. And unfortunately, because of those circumstances, because of having credit without merit, is hurting the financial system. Their best interest, including the government authorities, is to protect that regulated environment, right? So these companies and folks, what's going to happen is they're going to be left to resort with quick money schemes and will attempt to take advantage of you and your trust that they've attempted to build over the years by offering you bogus products or services with really no substance, just because they have a good spiel, pitch, or story. And unfortunately, a lot of individuals, like I said, who lack the education that's necessary to move forward, or the mentoring and the guidance, will believe them. And good people, always end up getting hurt because they have trust and they give away their trust, unfortunately, without understanding exactly how the concepts or strategies work. And this is very frustrating because I feel that a lot of people will be taken advantage of. Now, I'm going to tell you something, okay? I want you to know something. I created this channel to document my journey, education, and knowledge. As simple as that, okay? But I want to act, particularly this channel, I want it to act as a mentoring channel. So if you want to work with me, you can actually reach out to me via email, and we can have access to the services that I offer, and we can work out what you need for your side to help you get ahead, okay? But over the past few months, here's something. I've observed many channels, not one, but many, and I have to say that I'm disappointed at how people are easily misleading audiences with false information and strategies. That's a huge issue, because now what's going to happen is these people are going to go out there and implement these false information and strategies, and are going to get, things that, okay, well, they're going to have some flukes, but the long haul is not really helping them because it doesn't really solve the problem, the bigger picture. It's like a small Band-Aid. And even at that, it's not really protecting you, right? So because of those misleading strategies and information, customers will be taken. They'll be taken advantage of, and their trust is being bashed around, okay? So from my standpoint in this channel, you'll always get it straight in this channel, and I'm committed to providing you with ongoing education, okay? But here's one thing. To do that, right, I need participation. I need you guys to ask me questions, comments, feedback, whatever it is, and I'll be more than happy to help. here's something cool. Okay, a while back, I actually wrote a book. It's called The United Credit of America. I'm actually giving it away. But to do that, I want you guys to help me. I want you guys to leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave it below so I can answer that. And feel free to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Okay, let's reach 1,000 subscribers together. In the meantime, I will look at your comments, feedback, or concerns. I will pick one of you guys, and I'm going to start giving away a book every week. Okay. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to actually have all my audience members and individuals have access to that book for free. And the reason I want to do this is because I want you guys to be more financially educated. I want you guys to have access to the tools, resources that I had when growing up and learning about the credit game. The book is actually comprised of 2 parts. The first part is a lot about mindset, prosperity, and preparation, whereas the second part is actually technical into the credit repair aspect. But the reason I want to do this is because I want you guys to take advantage of what we got going on, okay, as a community together. So feel free to, like I said, like, share this video, subscribe to this channel, turn that bell notification on. So every time there's a video like this, you'll be first to be notified. Again, let's reach our 1,000 subscribers together. And I look forward to helping you guys more. First of all, thank you for being here today on this channel and this video. If you guys have any questions, email me at talk@bestcreditresources.com. And before I finish off, I want to give you that 70-20-10 rule. And what that is basically if you have a lot of debt, right, and you have to look at the interest rates that is higher and that's consuming you, and you want to put in concentration of an accelerated payment program, what that is basically you want to pay down your debts faster. You want to put more money, but you want to put 70% of that budget that you set aside. So let's say you put aside $1,000. Out of the $1,000, you put in an extra $700 towards the one that's consuming you the most interest rates. You want to pay that down faster. Then the 20% of that is going to be the one that's like below that highest interest rate, and then 10% between the one that has the least amount of interest rate. Because the sooner you do that, the faster you'll get out of debt, the faster you'll have less interest, and the faster you'll be able to cope with a higher, what we call utilization ratio, so your scores increase. So that's one strategy, okay? So that's called the 70-20-10 rule. Once again, this is Ali Taraftar, your guide and mentor. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, turn that bell notification on. And as always, I look forward to helping you guys and talking to you guys next week.